imports of Africa. Africa has emerged as an attractive market for export-oriented companies and manufacturers across the world as demand for consumer and capital goods in Africa has been growing at a steady pace in the last few years. The emergence of an affluent middle class with disposable income in many African countries has contributed largely in the increased trade to Africa. If you are targeting the African buyer in the new and emerging African market, here is a list of major African imports based in current Africa import and export statistics. Automobiles. The automobile industry provides innumerable lucrative opportunities in this rapidly growing continent. The high rate of economic growth and urbanization has led to the subsequent rise in income levels. This implies that more and more people are now able to purchase vehicles, both for personal and commercial purposes, as they move from low-income status and into the upward mobile middle class. However, the continent boasts very little output in terms of automobile manufacturing. Additionally, the major import firms in Africa focus their business on high-end buyers who are in a position to afford expensive brand-new vehicle models. This leaves a gap in the market for inexpensive used vehicles for the bigger percentage of buyers. For a long time, Japan and Korea dominated the niche market, but in more recent years, the US and China are also making inroads to grab the piece of the pie. The market is still ripe and opportunities are endless, considering the fact that the percentage of vehicles ownership is still very low in most African markets. Computers and other IT products. Another vastly unexploited export opportunity in Africa is the sales of IT products. This has largely been the result of an ongoing computerization trend that has taken a hold throughout the continent. Even though there are few manufacturers of IT equipment in Africa, they have been unable to keep up with the level of demand in the market. As a result, most traders are forced to import. Africa has one of the highest rates of growth in the market for ICT products worldwide. As a result, multinational manufacturers have concentrated their efforts on the market, producing in great quantities items specifically targeting the African market. South Africa's computer market, for instance, is valued at more than $1 billion. One of the factors behind the growth in the sector is the fact that many organizations are changing from the traditional desktop to the more personal and portable laptops and ultrabooks. Furthermore, the rapid pace at which innovations are being introduced to the sector and the vastly proportional price reduction have also boosted demand. The UAE has the lion's share of this market thanks to its strategic position relative to the African continent that implies low transportation costs. Furthermore, the regulatory requirement governing the trade over both countries has served to favor the cycle of demand and supply. There is very high competition in the IT business in this region, and as a result, the prices are rated among the cheapest globally. Automobile spare parts. Most of the African buyers are buying substantial quantities of automotive batteries, tires, spare parts, ball bearings, water pumps, and a host of automobile spare parts from overseas markets for selling them at a profit in their own countries. In addition to automobile spare parts, a major import to many African countries in recent years has been tires, batteries and lubricants, clothing and fashion accessories. The fashion and textile industry provides another booming opportunity for export to Africa. New imported clothes have gained popularity as a status symbol and are a reserve of the continent's wealth. In a bid to keep up with the ever-evolving trends in the fashion world, they do not spend a dime in purchasing the most exclusive labels from the world's top fashion hotspots. Countries like China provide cheaper options of clothing for the general populace by taking advantage of its high level of industrialization, as well as the availability of cheap labor in the production process. Second-hand clothes are also in great demand in Africa amongst the low-income earners. The United States is the largest used cloth exporter globally, selling almost $700 million annually, a large proportion of which is exported to Africa. However, the used clothing business has encountered its share of challenges, with some African countries planning to ban the importation of used cloth. Pharmaceuticals. The world is ever in search of more affordable drugs, and Africa is no exception to this rule. Healthcare is a big concern, with a majority of Africans who are unable to afford expensive medical care. Moreover, there is a huge gap in the demand and supply chain as Africa does not have any major bulk manufacturer of pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceutical products constitute a big bulk of Indian exports to Africa. This is largely due to the fact that India has emerged as one of the world's biggest manufacturers for generic drugs. India's pharmaceutical trade with Africa is worth over $17 billion annually. Mobile phones. The African mobile revolution has taken the world by storm, with the continent having the second biggest market for mobile devices after China. Africa has more mobile devices users than landlines. Subsequently, the sales of mobile phones have been on a consistent rise every year, with the figures soaring to unimaginable levels as manufacturers consistently introduce improved models into the market. Considering that the current use of mobile phones mostly centers on making calls and sending short messages, the figures are expected to continue rising as the cost of using the internet becomes lower in the African countries. For the past 5 years, the annual rate at which the number of mobile users increase has been about 65%. This makes Africa the ideal market for international traders looking to secure viable export opportunities in Africa. Nigeria is once again the continent's leader in the mobile handset market, following closely by South Africa. However, even in less developed war-torn countries like Somalia, the mobile telecom industry continues to thrive. Mobile money platforms have particularly made a significant contribution to this growth by offering most of the services that were previously the reserves of banking institutions. The huge unbanked population in the continent now enjoy these features from the convenience of mobile handsets. There is still so much potential for growth in this market, creating an ideal investment opportunities for exporters. Stationery. Enterprising traders have found a large market for stationery items in Africa. This rise in demand has been a result of the increased number of academic institutions and the importance Africans attach to education. Since there is a shortage in the manufacturing capacity of these products, the demand for stationeries in Africa is being met by overseas companies. Dubai has come to the fore as one of the most reliable suppliers in this sector, giving competitive prices and a suitable environment for import-export trade. Foodstuff. While Africa was once a major exporter of agricultural products to other countries, there are a number of factors that have created a turn of events and it now accounts for a huge market share of the food importation market. This includes the ever-expanding population, poor infrastructure, mismanagement of local agricultural industry, and the emergence of the middle class. While this may spare doom for the population, it is the best news an international trader will want to hear. With the middle class expected to continue growing, the African food import market is bound to continue to grow for a while since there is shortage on laborers to work on the agricultural sector. As always, Nigeria and South Africa take the lead in the region's top importer, and together with Angola, they account for almost half of all the imports made into the continent. Electronics. The African market has not yet been able to achieve self-sustenance in the electronics sector and relies on external players in the industry to fill its growing needs for home appliances and electronics. Electronic products from Asia have gained increasing popularity in African market thanks to their well-equipped production and assembly facility, as well as competitive pricing. Unlike European and American manufacturers, Asian manufacturers have easy access to electronic components and hence are able to provide cheaper pricing. Machinery and engineering products. Africa lacks the strong and diversified base that is necessary for the production of most engineering products. This refers to all materials needed for the manufacturing of other products. They form the base for strong manufacturing companies as China and India and have turned this into the biggest export to the product into Africa. This is another important product on the list of items that can be imported into Nigeria by virtue of the dynamic nature and rapid rates of urbanization of the country. It has therefore worked out favorable bilateral trade agreement with these major manufacturers in order to maximize the opportunities for trade. Chemicals. The demand for chemicals in the African market is exceeding its supply capacity by far. The current rate of industrial growth and general demand for products by its growing population necessitate the importation of these products. The agricultural sector is one of the areas of the African economy that has created a great need for the product. There is growing trends in the use of modern agricultural methods that utilizes organic chemicals to a greater degree than ever before. The cosmetic industry also is growing rapidly, and there is increased need for raw materials to manufacture soap, cologne, makeup, and various toiletries.
For more news about what is happening across Africa, subscribe, hit the notification icon. Thanks for watching New Africa.